You know that feel when you're cooking yourself a meal and you put in loads of high quality ingredients, but then when it comes time to actually taste it, there's just something missing. It sucks. Well, sometimes you just need that special something, that secret sauce which makes all the difference. For physical training, it's the same. You can throw a bunch of ingredients together into a decent looking program with smart exercise selection, a workout schedule perfectly tailored to your life, and flawless form on every exercise. But if it doesn't include this one key principle, it won't effectively move you towards your goals. Now, to be fair, it's not exactly a secret. Strength coaches know this, and anyone who's made consistent progress over the long term in any physical practice knows this. Yet I commonly see people in various sports, from climbing to trail running, who have been doing their sport for years but have no idea how to actually strategically make progress. It's time to end that. To introduce you to this principle, imagine a hypothetical trainee who wants to train his back. The first day he does 3 sets of 10 pull-ups. The next session, for a bit of variety, he decides to do some bent over rows. This also feels challenging, so then for the next session he decides to switch it up and do deadlifts. When this person finally gets back to doing pull-ups, they go for 3 sets of 10 because, well, why not? It worked well last time, and their routine continues like this. Are they getting stronger? Well, it's impossible to tell, as they're never actually testing their strength with anything more difficult. When will they be able to lift more? It's impossible to predict, as at their current rate, they'll be lifting body weight on pull-ups for the rest of their life. Now, this may seem stupid to you, but half of the fitness programs I see advertised online are exactly this. Circuits of seemingly random exercises, done for a random number of reps each day, repeated for roughly 30 days, and marketed as a challenge. Sure, doing 15 double crunches, or whatever the fuck that is, might be challenging, but if you already did that on Tuesday and on Monday, well, you'll be able to do it on day 30 without having improved at all. You've just been tricked into wasting your time and to completing something which you were already capable of doing before you started, because the last day is no harder than the first day. That'll do, Cowboy Poseidon. I've had quite enough of your donkey kicks. So what is the secret sauce for fitness training? How do you actually develop new capacity to do things beyond which you are currently capable? It's called progressive overload. To quote the OG Stephen Lowe, if you can apply enough stress to the muscles and the nervous system through intense exercise, the body will adapt to this stress by improving strength and muscular hypertrophy. Over time, the application of additional stress to these systems of the body will result in large-scale adaptations in strength, hypertrophy, and connective tissue integrity. This is called progressive overload. Put another way, we need to expose our bodies to a stimulus which is consistently more difficult so that our body will notice its inadequacies and adapt accordingly. In order to make noticeable changes over the long term, the stimulus needs to be similar but louder. So unlike our previous example where we jumped from exercise to exercise on a whim and didn't consider increasing the reps or the weight, we want to repeat the same exercises session after session, gradually making each one more difficult over time. Now I'll describe the key variables that we manipulate to drive progressive overload. The first variable is intensity. This is external intensity, so it's something that we can objectively see. In weightlifting, this is the weight lifted. In calisthenics, this is the leverage, which you manipulate by using increasingly difficult progressions. For skills like juggling or handstands, this is the complexity of the movement. Intensity is the king variable, but unfortunately we can't always increase the intensity each session, especially once we've been training for years. The gains don't always come that quickly. So when we can't increase the intensity, we have the time at intensity. You can just think of this as reps, or for static hold exercises, this would be the duration. But the key point here is that it's a secondary variable. Once you've reached the upper limit of your rep range, you forget about the number of reps, you increase the intensity, resetting your baseline for reps at that new intensity, and then continue working the reps up. Think of it like you're testing a hypothesis. You hypothesize that lifting 10 kilograms today will help you lift 11 kilograms next time. So you test that by attempting more than you did last time, and you allow your rep range to account for the expected error. So if you manage 7 reps with 10 kilograms, but when you try 11, maybe you only get 5. That's fine because you've successfully increased the intensity. So you're proving to yourself each session that you're adapting to the stimulus and at the same time systematically increasing the stimulus to drive further growth. The third variable is also very important, but it's a bit more subjective, and that is focus, or as I like to think of it, internal intensity. This is the ability to try hard. This is the ability to execute progressively better technique over time. It's the ability to really push to absolute failure, or to however close you want to go to failure, but to truly be honest about finding that point. It's also the ability to focus absolutely absolutely for the time that you're doing the exercise. And I can't overstate how important this really is. It really is the fundamental principle for any sort of physical training. If you're not slowly but consistently increasing the demands on your body with every single session, you're not progressing as fast as you could be. And if you want to learn more, I'm currently finishing up a video where I break down my 2 favorite ways to implement progressive overload, which you can apply to any training plan. That will show up everywhere for subscribers as soon as it's released, so stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching.